Hi everybody, it's time to do some farming. So I'm sure you've watched the hay video. Unfortunately, it did not make as much hay as we need or as what it normally does. Grandma Suey has been grazing that in the winter time, and I think the amount of grazing has gotten the quality of the grass stunted a little bit and a little thinner than normal. So I bought this machine the other day. You know how I am. I like having stuff that I can use Oliver for to where we're actually performing work. So this is a wheel-driven fertilizer spreader. So the power of the wheels turns the thrower, and this holds the fertilizer. And I bought some fertilizer at Family Center. Not near enough, but enough to test the concept of this new machine to see if it even works and to see how Oliver likes pulling it. So I'm gonna hook him up. We're gonna go down to the hay field and we're gonna spread some fertilizer and just have a little bit of fun working him with a purpose instead of just practicing. So we're just trying to, stand still. Trying to teach him to stand still so I can load this, but he sees horses in the distance, and you know, he's getting a little studdy, so he's not wanting to stand still. I mean, he's tied up, but he doesn't, you know, he still thinks he has a little freedom.
Way over there at that barn, there's horses. That's what he's getting excited about.
Stand still. This is what I'm talking about with, stand still. With actually working to do a job as opposed to just practicing. When you're actually working, you come across all these other disciplines that you get to practice. That's why I like actually doing a job with my horses. Walk up. Walk up.
The back wheel's locked up for some reason.
Try spinning that round thing.
Hey there, bud.
Okay, I'm afraid. Stand there. I'm afraid I put too much in for the things to turn. Of course, I mean, I'd like to be able to, I think I could fill the whole thing up. It's supposed to hold hundreds of pounds. But they added some, whoever had this before me added some fins in here to stir, and that might be putting too much torque on it. So I'm gonna try it with that much, and then Emery can follow along with the machine and put more in while we get to it. Okay, hopefully it works this time. Away. Away.
Yay, it's kind of working. And it stopped. trying to. Let me kick the wheel. Awesome. Okay, let's get on the buggy so we can see. Poured some more in, so they're heading off, but we can't put much in it. We gotta fix that problem. So this whole thing ended up being a little harder than me and JR thought. Every time he went across the field, I would have to fill it up again. So it was just stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And then filming on top of that was difficult. But Oliver, of course, was handling it fairly well. He did have a little issues with the mares out in the field over there by that barn. He got pretty excited for a little bit. But all in all, except for a few whinnies and prancing when he'd get near the horses down there, he listened really well and handled really well. I'm not showing all the stops. It was just way too much. We literally would go across the field, stop, fill it up. You could only put a tiny bit in or it wouldn't work. So definitely not the easiest piece of equipment to use. It was pretty frustrating, honestly. But, you know, Oliver got a lot of practice going and stopping and having to stand still. So that was good for his training. And JR is pretty handy at fixing things. So I'm sure he and his dad will eventually get it fixed where we can use it, where we can, you know, fill it completely up. And then Oliver will have a nice little job to do every spring and fall, spreading fertilizer and seed in the hay fields. Not the most convenient.
No, it sucks.
We only have a little bit left, so. I can just mix it if you want to just stand there with him, JR.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Walk, bud, walk.
And kick the tire if it doesn't go.
Walk.
It goes. after we had spread the seed and fertilizer over the more flatter part of the pasture, we went up to kind of the hillside to get that. Jared was concerned he didn't get quite enough up there, but that ended up being kind of a pain because the wheel on the hillside would not move at all. So it took a lot of kicking to get it going, which at that point I didn't mind kicking that spreader one bit. There's no weight on it. Whew.
I don't think that's it.
Okay, we'll keep going. I'll keep kicking if you will. And the wife was right. Obviously, it wasn't just the hill making the wheel not spin. There was way more to it, but it did make it worse on the hillside when the weight was off of it. But even though we had some troubles, we pushed through it, and Oliver and JR ended up getting a little bit of seed and fertilizer spread on the hayfield, which is great because we're hoping to get a second cutting this year of hay off of it. And we've had quite a bit of rain, so more than likely that's going to happen. We were probably out in the field doing this for about an hour and a half, but we were having a lot of issues. So if the spreader was working correctly, it really wouldn't take Oliver long to spread the seed and fertilizer.
Okay, so we just got back. We're gonna untack and then rinse Oliver off, cool him off with a shower. He's hot now. And then he'll get his treat.
Yeah, that was hard work, bud.
Yeah, he worked hard.
Thirsty?
Oh, wow.
Cool the boys off. That'll help. Try to get them acclimated to it and not just start hitting their core body when they're real hot. Of course, today's not the hottest day. I mean, it's 80, not 95 or something. Hot, but just not unbearable, or I wouldn't have done it. He didn't do perfect,
He thinks so.
but he did pretty good. A lot to learn. That was a good exercise. I'll try to work on that machine and fine tune it to where it works better. And if you guys like watching that kind of work and stuff, anybody wants to see a bunch more of those videos, you can sponsor them by going to the Family Center link, the farm and home store link that we have, and buying a whole lot more of that 12-12-12 fertilizer. And I will spread every bit of it on camera, but we'll get it dialed into where it works better, and he'll learn a lot in the process. But I could use more than what I can spend on it, that's for sure. But it's not a total necessity. It's just something that would be fun to do. Help the pastures out.
He's looking for another treat.
You want another treat, bud?
Okay. Tell
All right.
everybody goodbye first.
Good boy. Good boy.